Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for Pretty Little Liars, Season 5, Episode 16, Over a Barrel. And this episode, I still really enjoyed it. I thought this was another great episode. I was looking forward to it. My only complaint was there was no Allie. And it was kind of a disappointment for me because I've liked seeing Allie's point of view. It makes us care about her character more. It makes us closer and closer to thinking, who A is. And without Allie, it kind of... I still really love this episode. I thought this was a great episode, as usual. But I wanted to see definitely more Allie. I like seeing her perspective. I like seeing, them talk to Allie and things like that. And I felt like we should have gotten more scenes with Allie, and we didn't really get any. Allie was not even in this episode. So that was my only complaint with the episode. Let's just get into it, because overall, I really enjoyed it. So we start off with the liars. They're sitting in a coffee house, and Spencer fills them in on the bloody knife that she and Caleb found in the woods and destroyed. Because, of course, she's still concerned about the bloody knife. And Hanna reveals that when she went to the trailer park to see Holbroke's dad, and he thought that she was Allie, so obviously she doesn't know what that whole thing is about. So Arya goes to pay for her coffee, and Emily rings her up at the cash register, and the receipt begins printing out, and the computer appears possessed. There's something weird going on with the computer, and they realize it's actually printing out the entire letter that Arya wrote to Jackie last week, so that she can get into college. And at the bottom of the receipt it says, this kind of lie will stay on your permanent record, A. And at this point I'm like, it's Jackie. Like, seriously, A has to be Jackie because of that going on there. And I was like, I'm thinking it's Jackie at this point. That's what I was thinking. So I thought that was a great way to start the episode. Very, very creepy stuff, and I definitely really enjoyed it. So Hanna comes home, and she sees Ted in the kitchen with her mother, who... She obviously wasn't surprised to see Ted there because, of course, Ted and Ashley, I kind of forgot about Ted. I forgot that Ashley had Ted, and they talk about that in this episode. So, he just got back from Peru, and he says that he tried to call the night before, but Ashley didn't answer, and she lies and says that she was asleep, and Ashley corners her, basically... Hanna corners Ashley in the kitchen and lets her know that she saw Jason DeLaurentis leaving her bedroom, but Ashley refuses to talk about it and tells Hanna to take the orange juice outside. She's just like, take the oranges outside, and Hannah's like, no, you need to tell me what's going on. And honestly, I understand why she's avoiding it, but she needs to come clean to her daughter, because, like, here's the thing. It's not every day that you see something like that, and Hanna was obviously kind of scared because of that, and she needs to come clean to her because of that. So I felt bad for Hanna in this episode because of that, definitely. I definitely felt bad for her, but I really enjoyed that storyline. I like where it's going. So that was definitely very good. So at work, Emily's bickering with Ezra's new chef over the coffee. You can definitely see a lot more tension between them in this episode. Definitely a lot more between them, which I actually really like seeing. I like seeing the tension between what was going on there. I definitely really enjoyed that. So basically, she's clashing with the new caterer, Talia, and she remained on edge over Paige's move. Now, Ezra is having management issues of his own, and unwittingly kept stopping Arya every time she tried to open up to him. But coincidentally told her he could assist her with getting into Vasir via the professor he introduced her to, and she then received a text message believed to be from the missing detective Holbroke asking to meet, and despite Emily's reservations, Arya wasn't convinced that it wasn't an A trap. She was convinced that it, wasn't something that A did. And I'm just like, seriously, there's no way you think that. I mean, obviously, it's a bad idea, and I agree with Emily. It's a bad idea, but, Arya wants to meet with Holbroke because she thinks that he's the one threatening to tell Ezra about her letter to Jackie, and I kind of see Arya's point. Not everything has to do with A, but I think, like, that just seems so suspicious. I don't think that, Holbroke would just randomly do that. They're, like, why would Holbroke randomly do this? He has nothing against Arya. Like, why would he do this to her? That doesn't make sense. If he has anyone to hold anything against, it's Hanna, because him and Hanna had a relationship. Now this was happening to Hanna, I could understand that. But with Arya, I don't see why Arya thinks that, this could not be A. So basically, meanwhile in Spencer's house, she's getting an egg for Johnny out of the refrigerator. Of course, that guy living with her now. And she's not completely thrilled to get her own college acceptance letters, explaining to Toby that they were all schools far from Rosewood to get away from Allie. And she's behind, basically, she tells Toby that, that she's behind bars and she still can't, she's still not far away, basically. So she wanted to stay away from Allie, and that's why she did this. And They're interrupted by Johnny, who just moved into the Hastings yard. By the way, gotta say, Spencer and Toby seemed like they were gonna break up in the last episode, but they were, like, perfect in this episode. This is the Spoby I love. This is why I love Spencer and Toby, because they're so cute together, and this episode showed that. So, Johnny had just moved into the Hastings barn, and he seemed particularly interested in the fact that Toby's a cop. He kind of seemed interested in that, and I'm kind of wondering if something's going to happen between Johnny and Spencer. I definitely see some chemistry between them, and basically a college student turned traveler, and he then went through Spencer's garage to get old food he planned on using to make paints, and the two started bonding over his art interest and his trip to Italy. And Spencer's good mood, however, quickly disappears as it came when she received a text message, and this was very weird what happened. She receives this text message about Mona that gave GPS coordinates. So she is obviously very happy that this happened to her, but at the same time, she's like, okay, we gotta do something about this, like, right now. Because, of course, you know, what this is all about is finding that knife. That's what they need to do. So she quickly meets up with Hanna and Caleb to investigate the text, and he determined that it was likely pinpointing where Mona's laptop was taken from Arya and where it was being stashed, but was shocked that someone apparently broke through the security encryption. And Spencer and Caleb went to the location, which is a storage facility, where they ran into a Rosewood teacher who said there's been an awful smell coming out of their particular unit in question, which is apparently owned by a woman with blonde hair. Now, when she said that, what came to mind? Cece. That's what came to mind. I still think that Cece is A, because Allie's behind bars right now. And obviously that woman had to be Cece. It just has to be Cece. And I think what's going on is that Cece is framing Allie. I think that's sort of what could be happening here. Now, why do I think it's Cece? She's been close to Allie her whole life, and I mean, it's not uncommon for someone who was close to Allie to turn against her, so I definitely feel like Cece would do that, and I definitely feel like this is Cece that they're talking about. However, it could also be Bethany Young's twin. As I said, I still feel that's a theory. I know it's an out there theory, but I just kind of feel like it could be a thing. So they quickly pick the lock of the teacher's unit to get into the ceiling's air duct to then access the unit next door, and Hanna then let them to meet with Ted, who asked to talk with her. She was convinced he knew about Ashley's cheating, but in actuality, he just wanted to get, and I really like this scene definitely, because she thinks he's talking about Ashley cheating and how she was with Jason. That's what she thought Ashley was, that he was talking about. But really what's going on is that he wants to get Hannah's permission to propose to her. And he explained he wanted to be a family, and you know what? I really like Ted after this episode, I gotta say. I really like Ted. I think he is the perfect guy for Ashley, the perfect dad for Hanna. I mean, really, he's all about family first. That's really what he's all about. He's a family first kind of man. He cares about them. He wants to start a family with them. And he wants to make sure she's all in with the idea. And Hanna seems pretty cool with it. I mean, Hanna really likes Ted. I mean, she really does think of him as a father. And he was set to propose at dinner that night, and Hanna called her mother to warn her. Now, she talks to Ashley finally about how she knew that it was Jason, and Ashley says how, her and Jason just got very close and everything, but I'm just thinking, why would you do this when you have Ted, who is so supportive and really would do anything for you? I don't understand why Ashley would do this. Like, I understand that I understand why Jason did. It was a vulnerable time for him. It was a difficult time, and Ashley helped him with that. Yeah, I get that. What I don't get is why this happened. Why she did this to Ted. I mean, it really was not right what she did with Ted, and I really feel bad with what happened to Ted because of that. I mean, we'll talk more about that, but let's get back to this. Arya waits to meet with Holbroke and was surprised to be approached by Jason, and it's very awkward with them right now because she doesn't really want to see Jason right now, and I like seeing Arya and Jason have these conversations because even though Allie was not in the episode, Jason being in the episode was perfect because that's all I need. As long as we have one of the De Laurentises in the episode, then I'm good because the De Laurentises, let's just face it, are the most interesting characters. They are. So basically, it turned out he was expecting to meet Ashley for a working lunch, and when she canceled, he asked Arya to dine with her instead, and it might actually, he told her that it might actually be nice to talk to Allison, and Jason feared Allie was capable of a lot and revealed that the police believed she had been transporting Mona's body, and Arya shared the girl's Holbroke theory, and he thought it was possible. He thought that it could possibly be Holbroke. And it does make sense what's going on there. So definitely Jason knows a lot more than what we think. And while I still trust Emliy, everything he knows is true. So, you know, definitely interesting seeing what's going on there. So Caleb and Spencer's plan worked, and they discovered the storage unit did indeed have the computer. She quickly deduced that everything was too neat, and Caleb thought the items, seemingly blood cloths and plastic bags, were evidence held by Holbroke. I mean, it just seemed like they were hiding something. You know when you go into a room and everything just looks way too neat and too, like, unrealistic? Probably because they've hid things and they're cutting every corner, pretty much. I mean, what do people do when they want to clean up a room in, like, a few minutes? They just hide everything somewhere, and that's obviously why it's very suspicious for them. So basically, you know, Caleb is fearing that he's keeping it to build a case against one of them, and they discovered that there was also an overlarge barrel, and the pair wondered if Mona's body was hidden inside. Because Spencer, you know, talked about how Mona was a lot of things, but she didn't deserve this, and, I mean, the thing is, of course, they still have not found Mona's body, so that's still a thing as well, is where is Mona's body, and where do I think Mona's body is? I don't know at this point, but that definitely is a good hiding place, and my question is, I can understand why they hid Mona's body, but at the same time, I don't understand why. I mean, it wouldn't do anything. If they're trying to frame Emliy, it's not doing anything. Like, why would Emliy just randomly hide Mona's body? It doesn't change anything. So, I don't understand why they hid Mona's body, but it's an interesting plot. I enjoy it, but I just don't understand why they did it. So, Spencer notices all the chemical ingredients in the room and assumed that they were being used to either preserve or destroy Mona's remains. And, basically, that's what happened there. So back at Caleb's, he wiped any security footage that showed them at the storage space, and he suggested tipping Toby off to their findings, and Spencer declined, and saying she didn't want to risk Toby's job until they had definitive proof of Holbroke's involvement, and not surprisingly, we don't know what's in there. That's how it ends. We don't know what's in the barrel right now, so basically, they just left that whole thing on a cliffhanger, but you know what? Pretty Liars is a good cliffhanger, so that's the end of that plot, basically. So, Hanna eventually confronts Ashley over Jason. She insists it was nothing, and she sort of reveals that Ted was set on proposing, but simply said she liked him and liked them together. And I like that Hanna said this. You know, she said that she liked them together. She likes him as a dad figure. She thinks he's a good father figure for them, for her, and she didn't want to see the relationship ruined. That's what happened, and basically, Ari's main point was changed to a flower shop, with her believing Holbroke seen her talking to Jason and got spooked. She was surprised to be given a bouquet of flowers that she was told to deliver to none other than Ashley. And when Ari arrived, she interrupted the dinner with Ted, and up in Hannah's room expressed confession over the card being from Jason. She quickly says that it's from Jason, everything, and basically, you know, she tells her, don't trust Jason, and I thought that was a very well done scene. So Hanna quickly concluded that it was all Emily's doing, and likely her own fault. You know, she pretty much thinks it's Emliy, and was forced to reveal she visited Emliy in jail. And I like that Hanna said this, because of course, the thing that I was most looking forward to from this episode was seeing if Hanna actually took what Emliy said. And despite the group's agreement not to, Ari is pretty angry, and it's understandable why. But Hanna exclaimed that she faced her for all of us, and she told her to back off, and this is her backing off. And the thing is, though, I don't think they're really thinking about what Emliy said to them. I mean, what Emliy said to them is pretty plausible, and honestly just seems like she was framed. It really just seems like she did nothing. She was framed, and it seems so believable. And I know she lies a lot. I know that she gets away with a lot. I know she's done this in the past. But, again, she's trying to change herself. She's trying to change herself all season. And I'm not going to not believe that she can reform herself, because I think she can. And if she wants to try to do that, then by all means, I think she should. Because I really feel like her advice that she, you know, like what she said about what she did, I think it's the truth. I really feel like it's the truth. I don't think she's lying about that. I think she's telling the honest truth there. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was very well done. So, basically, at the end of the dinner, Ted tries to propose to Ashley, and I thought it was very well done. He gives her this peanut butter cookie, and he tells her that the first time they were together, they ate this peanut butter cookie, and inside the peanut butter cookie, out fell a ring. And he tells Ashley he wanted to spend the rest of, you know, of their lives together, being grateful for the gift of her. And Ashley completely crushed him. She is completely crushed. She completely crushed him. And she says she needs a minute to think before leaving the room. And after he left heartbroken, Ashley admitted to Hanna that he deserves the truth. She didn't really love Ted. But I don't think that Ashley actually thinks that. And honestly, I'm very upset that Ashley said no to Ted, because he's perfect for them. But I kind of feel like Ashley doesn't want something that simple, and kind of doesn't really want that, because she knows that Hannah's going away, and, like, she knows that, maybe with Jason, it's something stronger for her. I don't really know what's going on there, but that was definitely very interesting, and I'm very interested in seeing what's going on. So at the same time, Toby and Spencer had talked about the possibility of Spencer going to college, which was an ocean away, and she suggested that he could come with her. And their nice chat was interrupted, however, when she saw a text from Caleb that said, "Found something, call me." And Toby's pretty pissed off, demand the duo stop their investigating. He does not want them to continue this. He's very worried about what's going to happen to her. I mean, I think that's why Toby's so concerned, because this is his girlfriend we're talking about. He's very concerned about what's going to happen. And I think that's really what's going on, is that he is extremely concerned for her, and it's understandable why he's so concerned about her, because he's concerned about her because, I mean, this is dangerous what she's doing. She's not doing something she could end up in trouble with the police. I mean, the next episode, it looks like they all break the law, and next week's episode looks amazing, but, it looks like she breaks the law in the next episode, so I definitely understand why Toby is upset with her. So, basically, she says, "Whatever you say, officer," and she was later visited by Johnny, who was still curious about Toby, and I'm kind of wondering why Johnny is so curious and what's going on, really. And he eventually revealed that he sought to get away and ditch college to travel the world, an idea that seemed incredibly tempting to Spencer, and one that stopped her from returning Caleb's call. So my question is she done helping Caleb? Is she done doing this? Is she going to focus on her relationship with Toby now? And now it seems like her and Johnny, I mean, it seems like Johnny's actually changing her and is making her think about things. I don't really know if I like the direction it's going in, though. I like seeing Spencer and Caleb working together, and now it seems like they're not going to work together. So I don't really know if I like that. So Talia then realizes that Emliy was wearing one of Paige's old shirts, was upset about her ex, and tried to lift her spirits. And I like seeing that with Talia. It seems like Talia is actually going to try to be a friend to Emliy. And if that's true, I like seeing that. I definitely enjoyed seeing that happening. There was a point in this episode where I actually thought that Talia was a lesbian. The part where she told Emliy that she looked so pretty and things like that. Basically they had a whole fight over Emliy wearing casual clothing to her job and not wearing fancy clothing like Talia does. Talia was kind of upset about this, and she eventually realized that Emliy actually looked very pretty in this. She actually really liked her style and wanted to change it up a little bit more. And she realizes why she did it, of course. She was wearing one of Paige's old shirts. But the more Emliy thought about it, the more she realized she needed to let it go. And Emily's now starting to realize that her and Paige are pretty much over, and she added the shirt to the package of Paige's belongings to send her. She then went to the brew for her paycheck, and Talia, it seemed like at first she was trying to be flirting with her. That's what it seemed like. To me, I'm like, okay, I think Talia is going to be a lesbian. But then she talks about Ezra's, like, ass and everything, and how she finds it, like, cute and everything. So I don't know if I kind of feel like Talia's a closeted lesbian, or maybe I feel like maybe she's bisexual, and that could definitely be a possibility, but I don't know. It seemed like she was flirting with her, so I don't know if she's like a lesbian or what's going on, or if she's bisexual. Let me know what you guys think about that, because I don't really know what to say about that. All I know is that I think that she is definitely hiding something from Emily, and I don't know what it is yet. So the end of the episode, Caleb goes to Hannah's and nervously revealed the results of his investigation. He discovered the storage unit is rented in none other than Hannah's name, and that's obviously not a good thing. So he's pretty sure that Mona's body is hiding inside of it, and that freaks out Hannah. I mean, definitely next week's episode is going to be amazing to see if that's true. And the final scene of the episode cuts to Holbroke's office at the police department, and a hooded figure hacks into his computer, and that's how the episode ends. So now I kind of feel like someone is betraying Holbroke. Someone is clearly against Holbroke, and this is someone who is trying to cover themselves up. Now, who could have done that? I could have seen Cece doing that. I could have seen Bethany on doing that. Definitely I could see these people doing this. And if they convinced you, if you guys still think that it's Allie after all these episodes, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, Allie's in jail. How could she have done this? Really, how could she have done this? Now, there are a few things I definitely want to talk about. First of all, Hanna and Ashley, I really felt bad for Ted this episode, and I really hope that Ashley apologized to him, because I feel like Ashley just doesn't really want it, but she genuinely cares about Ted. I think she genuinely cares about him, and if she does, she should be honest with him and tell him that, look, it's not that I don't love you, it's that it didn't work out well and things like that. I really hope she is honest with him, because I really do like the two of them together, and I want things to work out with them. I don't know if it's going to, but I really do want things to work out between the two of them. I really would enjoy that if it happens. I don't know if it's going to, but we'll have to see what ends up happening there. Let's talk about Spencer for a second. I don't know what Spencer's going to do now, and I don't really know if I like where her plot is going. I don't know if I like this whole her not going to college or her ditching college and being with Toby. I think that's where they're heading with it, and I don't really know if I like that direction. I kind of would have liked to see Spencer get away from Toby, maybe try a long-distance relationship. I enjoy that. I kind of think I would enjoy that, but I think the reason they're not doing it is because of what's happening with Emily. Emily has to get over Paige. After this episode, she needs to get over Paige, and do you guys feel that Talia is hiding something? I kind of feel like she does. Let's talk about, let's talk about, now I can't remember his name. What's his name? Johnny. Let's talk about Johnny. Is Spencer going to take Johnny's advice? What's going to happen there? Are they going to find Mona's body? It seems like that's the plot of the next episode, that they're going to find Mona's body. The next episode looks extremely crazy. I have no idea what's going to happen. But, they're going to find, Mona's body, I think, in the next episode, definitely. Now, do you think that the whole thing with Holbroke, do you think that has to do with A, or is that just something completely different? I don't understand how it wouldn't have to do with A. I don't really get that, but I think it has to do with A. I don't really know, though, but that's basically this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Overall, guys, I thought this was a very good episode. I missed Allie in it. I would have wanted to see more of Allie. She wasn't in the episode, but hopefully in next week's episode, she will be back. I can't wait for next week's episode. It looks like the best episode of the season. And that's basically for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys saw this episode, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for the season premiere of the final season of Justified. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.